Ladies and gentlemen, friends, let me tell you something fundamental about life. Things change. People come and go. Circumstances shift. What was once familiar can suddenly feel distant, even painful. But the real question isn't whether or not life will change, it's how you respond to that change that will shape your future. How do we move on when life throws us challenges, setbacks, or heartbreak? How do we press forward with confidence and purpose? Change is inevitable, and more importantly, it's necessary for growth. Now, I know that's not always easy to hear. We like the familiar, the comfortable, and the predictable. But let me ask you, can a tree grow taller without shedding its leaves in autumn? Can a seed become a mighty oak without first breaking through the soil? Of course not. Growth always requires transformation, and transformation always requires change. When life pushes you into unfamiliar territory, it's easy to feel uncertain, maybe even afraid. But those feelings don't mean you're off track. They're often the best sign that you're exactly where you need to be. It's in these moments when life challenges us that we have the greatest opportunity to grow. That's the paradox. The very things that feel uncomfortable are the ones that make us stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Think about the times in your life when you've made the most progress. Were they the moments when everything was easy, or were they the times when you had to adapt, to learn, to become something more than you were before? It's often the challenges that push us to stretch beyond our current limits. Whether it's a career setback, the end of a relationship, or any unexpected change, these situations force us to tap into inner resources we didn't even know we had. Now, I'm not saying you should enjoy the tough times. We're human, and we're bound to feel a little lost when life takes an unexpected turn. But what I am saying is that you shouldn't resist the change. Instead of fighting it, embrace it. Look at it as an opportunity, a chance to grow, to improve, and to reinvent yourself. Every change, even the ones that seem painful at the moment, contains the seeds of a new beginning. You see, if you cling too tightly to the past, you limit your potential. Holding on to what was can prevent you from discovering what could be. It's like trying to sail a ship while anchoring it to the shore. You can't move forward until you let go. And yes, letting go is hard, but it's also the only way to grow. Growth doesn't come from staying in one place. Emotionally or mentally, it comes from venturing out into the unknown and trusting that you have the strength to navigate it. We must also remember that moving on isn't about forgetting the past. It's about learning from it, taking those lessons forward, and becoming better because of them. Change is the universe's way of giving you a nudge in the direction you need to go. If you don't embrace that nudge, you risk stagnating. And let me tell you, stagnation is far worse than any change. It's in the constant evolution, the constant adaptation to life's shifts that we find fulfillment. So when you face change, don't ask, why is this happening to me? Instead, ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? Because every change, no matter how small or how challenging, is an opportunity for growth. And once you accept that, once you embrace it fully, moving on becomes not just a possibility, but an inevitable step in your journey toward becoming the best version of yourself. And let's talk about something incredibly important, taking responsibility for your emotions and mindset. Now, this is where real power lies. You see, life is going to throw all kinds of things at you, situations you can't control, people who test your patience, circumstances that challenge your limits. But there's one thing you can always control, no matter what, and that's your response. Your emotions, your mindset are entirely up to you. Many people go through life reacting to everything around them, allowing external forces to dictate their mood, their attitude, and even their happiness. But that's like handing over the keys to your car and letting someone else drive. You have to take back the wheel. It's your life, and the way you feel is your responsibility. No one else is in charge of how you think or how you respond to the events of your life. Now, I'm not saying that emotions aren't real or that you should suppress what you feel. Quite the opposite, emotions are natural, and they serve a purpose. They're signals that something is happening in your world. But what we have to understand is that while we might not be able to control the initial emotion we feel, we absolutely can control how long we let it affect us and what we do with it. For example, if someone wrongs you or something doesn't go your way, it's natural to feel upset or frustrated. But staying in that state, holding on to that anger, that frustration, that's a choice. And it's a choice that often leads to more negativity, more suffering. The key is to recognize the emotion, understand it, and then decide how to move forward. Don't let the emotion control you. Instead, take responsibility for it and decide how it will shape your next action. Your mindset works the same way. How you interpret the events in your life determines your future. Two people can experience the same setback, but one might see it as a failure while the other sees it as a lesson. What makes the difference? It's their mindset. One is stuck in a fixed mindset, believing that their situation defines them. The other has a growth mindset, understanding that every experience, no matter how difficult, is an opportunity to learn and improve. When you take responsibility for your mindset, you give yourself the power to shift your perspective. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" you start to ask, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of dwelling on problems, you begin focusing on solutions. This shift doesn't just change the way you see the world, it changes what you're capable of achieving. Too often we allow outside influences, circumstances, other people's opinions, past experiences to dictate our mindset and emotions. But the truth is, no one can control your internal world unless you let them. And this is where the real work begins, developing the discipline to choose your thoughts, to manage your emotions, and to set your mindset in a way that supports your growth and well-being. Taking responsibility means understanding that you are the creator of your experience. It's not always easy, but it's always possible. And once you fully embrace that idea, you stop waiting for things to change and start creating the change from within. When you take control of your emotions and mindset, you move from being a passive participant in your life to an active creator of your destiny. And that, my friends, is where true power lies. In life, one of the greatest sources of frustration comes from trying to control things that are completely out of our hands. Whether it's other people's actions, the past, or circumstances beyond our influence, we often waste incredible amounts of time and energy fixating on these uncontrollable aspects of life. And here's the truth: the more you focus on what you can't control, the more powerless you feel. But here's the good news: you don't have to live that way. You have the power to shift your focus onto the things you can control. And that's where real change and growth begin. Let me paint you a picture. Imagine you're a sailor out at sea. You can't control the wind, the waves, or the weather, but you can control how you set your sails. You can control the direction you steer your ship, even when the conditions aren't ideal. That's the key to life. You can't change the storms, but you can change how you respond to them. And when you focus on that, you'll find that you can navigate through even the toughest challenges. We spend so much time worrying about things that are beyond us, what others think of us, outcomes we can't predict, or events that have already happened. But the more you allow yourself to get caught up in these things, the more stress and anxiety you create. It's like carrying a heavy burden that only weighs you down, with no benefit in return. What if, instead of trying to control the uncontrollable, you focused on what's right in front of you? The choices you can make today, the actions you can take, the efforts you can give. When you shift your attention to what you can control, you reclaim your power. You realize that while you may not have control over what happens to you, you always have control over how you react, how you think, and how you move forward. And this isn't just about handling difficulties, it's about taking responsibility for your own progress and well-being. If you want to improve your life, your career, your relationships, or your happiness, the first step is to stop wasting energy on what's outside of your influence. Let me tell you something: worrying about what you can't control is like trying to change the weather by thinking about it. It won't work, and it will only leave you feeling helpless. Instead, focus on your own thoughts, actions, and attitudes, because those are the only things truly within your command. Can you control whether someone else treats you with respect? No, but you can control how you respond to them. Can you control whether an opportunity comes your way? Maybe not, but you can control how prepared you are when it does. And here's the beautiful thing: when you focus on what you can control, you start to see results. You build confidence because you're no longer at the mercy of external forces. You start to feel empowered because you're taking responsibility for your own life. And over time, that focus on the controllable creates a ripple effect. You become more resilient, more adaptive, and more capable of handling whatever life throws your way. It's not about ignoring the bigger picture or pretending that everything is within your power. It's about recognizing the difference between what you can change and what you can't, and then putting your energy where it really counts. That's the essence of true strength. So let go of what's beyond your reach and focus your time, your effort, and your mind on the things you can control. That's how you move forward. That's how you grow. And that's how you take charge of your life. When it comes to moving forward in life, one of the most powerful tools you have is your vision for the future. A positive vision gives you a sense of direction, a reason to get up every day, and a focus that pulls you through challenges. Without it, you're like a ship without a destination, adrift and subject to the whims of whatever happens to come your way. But with a clear, positive vision, you become proactive, steering your life towards something meaningful. Now, cultivating a positive vision for the future doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that everything will magically work out. It's about creating a picture in your mind of what you want your life to look like despite the current circumstances. No matter what is going on around you, you have the ability to envision a better tomorrow. And that vision becomes a guiding light, something that inspires you and keeps you moving, even when the road gets tough. You see, a strong, positive vision acts like a magnet. It draws you towards your goals, shaping your actions and your decisions. When you have a clear sense of where you're going, it's easier to stay focused on the steps you need to take to get there. Instead of being pulled in different directions by distractions or doubts, your vision anchors you. It gives you a sense of purpose that transcends the ups and downs of daily life. But here's the important part: your vision has to be positive. Why? Because a negative or limiting vision will only hold you back. If you spend your time imagining worst-case scenarios, focusing on what could go wrong, or dwelling on past mistakes, you're not going to make much progress. What you think about most is what you'll move toward. If you're always focused on failure, guess what? You'll find yourself stuck in that very pattern. But if you're focused on possibilities, growth, and success, you'll start to notice opportunities and paths that take you there. Creating a positive vision doesn't mean it has to be grand or perfect. Start with small, achievable steps. Envision yourself overcoming a challenge, reaching a personal goal, or even simply feeling more content and fulfilled. These small positive images can expand over time into a larger vision of the life you truly want. And as you move closer to that vision, you gain confidence, knowing that you are capable of making it a reality. It's also important to revisit and refine your vision regularly. As you grow and as life changes, your vision should evolve with you. Keep asking yourself, what do I want to create in my life? What kind of person do I want to become? What experiences do I want to have? This constant reflection helps you stay aligned with your goals and ensures that your vision remains inspiring and relevant. Now, a positive vision doesn't mean the road will always be smooth. There will be obstacles, setbacks, and unexpected turns. But when you have a strong, optimistic vision, those challenges become stepping stones rather than roadblocks. You begin to see them as part of the journey rather than the end of it. Your vision helps you keep your eyes on the horizon, not the bumps along the way. In the end, cultivating a positive vision for the future is about giving yourself permission to dream and believe in something better. It's about understanding that your current situation doesn't define you, it's just one chapter in your story. The more you nurture this vision, the more you'll find the motivation, energy, and creativity to make it a reality. And that's when life starts to shift, not because circumstances change, but because you've changed how you see what's possible for your future. One of the most critical factors in your personal growth and success is the company you keep. The people around you, your friends, family, colleagues, have a profound influence on your mindset, your energy, and your trajectory in life. Surrounding yourself with people who support your growth is not just a luxury, it's essential if you want to thrive, move forward, and become the best version of yourself. We've all heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. There's a lot of truth in that. The people you interact with on a daily basis can either lift you up or pull you down. Their attitudes, habits, and perspectives rub off on you, often more than you realize. If you spend time with people who are negative, who complain, or who don't believe in growth and progress, it's incredibly hard to stay motivated and focused on your goals. On the other hand, if you're surrounded by people who encourage you, who challenge you to be better, and who celebrate your successes, you'll find it much easier to keep moving forward. Growth-minded people push you to stretch beyond your current limits. They're the ones who aren't afraid to tell you the truth, who give you constructive feedback when needed, and who inspire you by their own commitment to self-improvement. These are the people who don't let you settle for mediocrity, but instead push you to aim higher, think bigger, and take bold steps toward your future. Their support isn't about flattery or blind encouragement, it's about being genuinely invested in your progress. But it's not just about what these people can offer you, it's also about the energy they bring into your life. Positive, growth-oriented individuals exude a sense of optimism and possibility. They believe in solutions rather than problems, and they look at challenges as opportunities. This kind of energy is contagious. When you're around people who are passionate, driven, and full of ideas, you can't help but feel more motivated to pursue your own dreams. On the flip side, being around people who are stuck in their own limitations or negativity can drain you. These are the people who focus on what's wrong, who criticize without offering solutions, and who often hold you back, whether intentionally or unintentionally. And sometimes they're not even aware of the effect they're having, but their mindset can seep into yours, causing you to second-guess your ambitions or hold back from pursuing what you truly want. That's why it's so important to be selective about the company you keep. Now, this doesn't mean you should cut ties with everyone who isn't actively pushing you to grow. There's a balance to be found, especially with long-term relationships like family or old friends. But it does mean that you should be mindful of the influence they have on you. Spend more time with those who encourage your development and less time with those who constantly pull you into negative patterns. Build a circle of people who reflect where you want to go, not where you've been. The key is to seek out relationships that are mutual in their support. Growth is not a one-way street. Just as others support your journey, you should also be willing to support theirs. Be someone who lifts others up, who offers encouragement, and who celebrates their successes just as much as your own. In doing so, you create an environment where everyone can grow together, where your combined energy and support amplify each other's potential. When you surround yourself with people who support your growth, you create a kind of momentum in your life that propels you forward. You find yourself inspired, motivated, and constantly reminded of what's possible. These people become a source of strength, wisdom, and encouragement, helping you to overcome challenges and stay focused on your path. And ultimately, they help you realize that with the right support system, there are no limits to how far you can go. Life is full of challenges, some expected, others sudden and overwhelming. But what if we shifted the way we look at challenges? Instead of seeing them as obstacles to our progress, what if we embrace them as opportunities for transformation? This mindset shift can make all the difference between feeling defeated and discovering new strengths within yourself. When we face a new challenge, it's natural to feel intimidated or uncertain. Challenges often push us beyond our comfort zones and force us to confront situations we've never dealt with before. But here's the thing, growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. Transformation happens when we are stretched, when we are required to adapt, to learn, and to find new ways of thinking and doing. Every challenge we face has the potential to teach us something valuable, something that can help us grow into a stronger, wiser version of ourselves. One of the reasons people avoid challenges is the fear of failure. But failure is not the opposite of success, it's part of the process. When you embrace a challenge, you're also embracing the possibility of failure, and that's a good thing. Failure teaches us more than success ever could. It gives us feedback, shows us what doesn't work, and builds resilience. The key is to not let the fear of failure stop you from stepping into the challenge in the first place. By seeing each challenge as a learning experience, you can approach it with curiosity rather than fear. Challenges also present us with the opportunity to reinvent ourselves. When life forces you to face something difficult, whether it's a personal setback, a career obstacle, or an unexpected event, you have the chance to reflect on who you are and who you want to become. Challenges often reveal areas in our lives where we've become stagnant or complacent. They shake things up and force us to take a closer look at our habits, our beliefs, and our assumptions. In doing so, they give us the opportunity to make changes that can lead to real transformation. Moreover, embracing challenges fosters creativity and innovation. When the usual ways of doing things no longer work, you're forced to think outside the box. Some of the greatest breakthroughs, whether in business, science, or personal development, have come from people who faced a seemingly insurmountable challenge and had to find a new way forward. When you approach challenges with an open mind and a willingness to explore new solutions, you unlock your creative potential and discover new possibilities. It's also important to remember that challenges build strength. Just like muscles grow through resistance, we grow through the resistance that challenges provide. Every time you face and overcome a challenge, you're adding to your inner strength and resilience. You're proving to yourself that you're capable of handling more than you once thought possible. This builds confidence not just for the current challenge, but for future ones as well. The more challenges you embrace, the more you build that muscle of resilience, making you better equipped to handle whatever comes next. Another powerful benefit of embracing challenges is the sense of accomplishment you feel once you've overcome them. There's a deep satisfaction that comes from knowing you faced something difficult and made it through to the other side. That feeling of achievement is priceless. It's a reminder that you're stronger and more capable than you realize. And it's these moments of triumph that propel you forward, giving you the courage to take on even bigger challenges in the future. In the end, challenges are not just hurdles to jump over, they are invitations to transform. They offer us the chance to evolve, to learn, and to become more than we were before. When you embrace challenges as opportunities, you open yourself up to new experiences, new growth, and new levels of success. It's not always easy, but the rewards of facing life's challenges head-on are far greater than the temporary discomfort they bring. So welcome the challenges that come your way, knowing that they are shaping you into the person you're meant to become.